Got it.
Got it there.
Okay. All right. I hear it, bro.
All right, Islam, peace and love. We like to welcome everybody to another AstroCivics Sunday. And this is AstroCivics Sunday 45. 45, that's a 9 there. So peace and love to you all. Thank you all for joining us. Happy Sunday to you. I'm Brother Hasan Ghaziel, one of the 5 magnificent brothers from the 7 Hill Star Astrology firm. You already know that all is well, and man, almost remember today. I almost remember today, but bro, what was that other appellation, bro?
Bring on, bring on.
Every time. And I am here with my bro, and he is.
It's all right, y'all. Peace and greetings to y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwestern Mexico. How are you? Let me see if I can get this lens a little clearer. Must have put my finger there. That's a lot better. All right, cool. All righty, guys. So hey, Buffy, we about to get started. All right, I'd like to welcome you to our AstroCivics Sunday. This is 45 for the Holy Koran Devotional Countdown. We're at chapter 29. All righty, for this one. And guys, we're about to really go in. We're going to keep this short, simple, to the point. You guys already know, go to 7hillstar.com, sign up for our email list, sign up for your Mirror AstroLiteracy session, and get yourself a mental magician report. All righty. Telling you, I, Brother Sean, and our bros, we are going harder and harder and harder as far as staying in the gym. You know what I mean? Astrology, like basketball, you got to stay studying it. You got to keep, you know what I mean, practicing it, looking at different things, different techniques and stuff like that. And you guys won't be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? You guys will not be disappointed. You know what I mean? So sign up for those readings, you know, and those reports, you know, get your AstroLiteracy sessions, readings and reports. All right. So with that being said, guys, let's just get right to it. All right. I'm just going to screen share. All right. And take it right here. We're going to do our invocation in. And we're on pages. This is, again, if you don't know, Moor's Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49. Right. On page 48, we see handsomely standing due guard. It's Prophet Noble Drowley and his Moor Shardy Spez and Abba. And we're here also on page 48 with our invocation in turn to Moorish American prayer. And just, you know, above that, you see Prophet Noble Drowley's feet on a 45-degree angle, which is how you want to put your feet. And we're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. And we're going to face east, which is metaphysically symbolic, pertaining to going within. So you can repeat after me either aloud or in your heart. And again, 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Islam. Islam, Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
And
my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Amen. All right. So guys, we're going to go to the first letter to be read in every meeting on pages 84 and 85. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom we well pleased, Brother Sean Mel. Islam.
Islam. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928 AD, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. All right, it's coming from Administrative Functions, Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side that claim, our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials in the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility, quote unquote. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent, or some will say represent, the Moorish divine and national movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali, Islam.
Islam. All righty, guys. So we're going to the second letter to be read in every meeting. It's in the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper. And again, on page 12, you see Prophet Noble Drew Ali handsomely standing due guard in his Moorish fez and abba. Divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets, including the internet. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and buttons, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. All righty, guys. So we're going right here. We're going to jump right into it. All righty. Here, the Holy Quran, we let you guys know. We're doing chapter 19 here, guys. At the bottom, right? As you see. Chapter 29, which has 19 minutes total, forgive me. Chapter 29, magistrate and subject, right? And as I promised, I said, you know what? I have some notes that are jotted in my physical copy. So I took, photos of that. This one's, much whiter. However, I'm going to yield the floor to Brother Sean. And what I'll do probably here is just zoom in because, the book that we get, the Koran that we get from RB Bay Publications, which is what you guys are seeing here. I just have some notes here. And Brother Sean, is this still readable for you? Like the letters that aren't read? Because I know I have some, notes there, but is it still good for you to read?
Oh yeah.
All right, it's long, man.
Hey, man, move, bro, out. I swear I'm gonna make y'all your own page for y'all to be online. All right, so here we go. Chapter 29, Magistrate and Subject. Oh thou, hey, chill. Oh you, or oh thou, the favorite of heaven, whom the sons were sons of men minds, thy equals, your equals, have agreed to raise to sovereign power or national trustee and set as a ruler over themselves. Consider the ends and importance of their trust far more than the dignity and height of thy station.
Right. So you have a lot of people that come into the Moorish American, knowledge pertaining to the nationality and birthrights. They're clear. They're are ones that are called. They're hearing the call to declare and proclaim their nationality. And then you have some beings that call themselves grand sheiks, and they do not conduct themselves appropriately because they're not seriously considering the ends and importance pertaining to the people's trust, right? So these type beings will, do and say things that, if people are really sincere, they would not be supporting them. Like seriously, some people are blinded, and you guys will sit there and think that just because someone has the title of Grand Sheik that they're worthy of your respect, when really they probably should have been removed from office by the people removing their faith in them. All right. So if the dignity of their height and their station is more important, even though they'll say things like the priesthood is dead and them being a grand sheik doesn't mean anything, you'll still see it in their countenance and how they, carry themselves. And it'll show that they are nothing but another version of vampire that is really at the foundation of it is against Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his mission, right? And they're not really protecting the temple, all right? Because the first temple that must be protected is here, right? A prophet, what is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in flesh, right? A thought of Allah, a thought pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac, right? That's your zodiac constitution within. And here's your temples, right? Here's your temples here, right? So you should, definitely want to protect your prophet and the temple, right? Your thoughts and the body, which outwardly has been manifested in Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the actual temples, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, adopting as its corporate name Moorish Science Temple of America, to only be an outward manifestation pertaining to what is supposed to be happening within you, whether there was an institution for it or not. I trust that was clear. Islam, Brother Sean?
Islam. All right, 2. Thou art clothed in purple and seated on the throne, the crown of majesty investeth thy temples. The scepter of power is placed in thy hand, but not for thyself were these ensigns given, not meant for thine own, but the good of thy kingdom.
Right. So now let's think about that. All right. And what's funny is, thou art clothed in purple. It's funny because when you may see some things in movies and streamed on these streaming apps, your Hulus, your Netflixes, your Primes, they'll start putting like the evil people, even in some of these cartoons, the evil people or the villain will always be in purple. And it's so hilarious because I can recognize, and I can recognize it intuitively and insightfully, that is a psychological warfare operation to now try to subject anyone viewing it that does not have these higher lessons to look at purple as something evil. When really, when you're clothed in purple, that means you're clothed in that which is a signal and garment pertaining to that ye are loyal and ye are considering the ends and importance of your equals' trust. Because remember, it is your equals that have raised you to sovereign power. Your equals. And even if your equals haven't raised you to sovereign power outwardly, the equals within yourself has raised you to sovereign power. So your higher self is in charge of your lower self. So you don't need to be called Grand Sheik or Sharif anything. You could just be brother. That's why that's why when people, may say anything, and I know sometimes, Brother Sean will jokingly say living master, but I know that what he's also saying is the equivalent, like when John says, it was Jesus, what was saying? It was Jesus, somebody else that was with them too. I wonder if it was like, it was Jesus, James, and the disciple whom Jesus loved. And the disciple whom Jesus loved, when John is saying that in his own gospels, sometimes it's miscomprehended that what he's actually saying is that he is recognizing that the I am identity within himself metaphysically, because it's all metaphysics, loves him. Because even in the Christian theological world, again, it is even said or said to be published by Prophet Noble Drew Ali or spoken by Prophet Noble Drew Ali in some of these documents or statements and prophecies. Some of my good Moors are still in the church. Okay, cool. We know church is German for circle. You're in that circle, cool. For me, it's the zodiac, right? It's a chart, So with that being said, recognizing the love pertaining to Jesus for you is far better than thinking of your love for Jesus. And again, Jesus is the I am identity. That's it. That's all. Is not some outward being that was born 2,000 years ago, even if a being did walk the earth with that energy, that being walked Midgard, earth plane, Asha with that energy to only manifest that which we all can actually do. Period. So even when Brother Sean's like, and here's my brother, the living master, that's like him saying, and the disciple whom Jesus loved. He's also recognizing himself that he's a living master, because we're all born masters. Oh, look, Masonic secret revealed. So what? You're all born masters. Everyone is born perfect. You're just here to be taught and reminded that mastery and perfection that you already come here with. The reason you have to be taught and reminded is because there is a system of indoctrination, social engineering, and indentured servitude that makes you not attain to the higher spiritualities in life. For you to not recognize that you're already manifested from mother's womb, living master in complete, total perfection. The crown pertaining to majesty is it invests your temples. We're wearing fezzes. There's no crown pertaining to majesty higher than this. What you think? Because they done sat there and depicted some people putting metal around their heads. Oh, well, let me take this ring of metal and put it around my head. No, really? Nah, man. 360 around my temples, 360 above my temples. I'm 720, bare minimum. And any other Moor that has on a fez is 720, bare minimum. 360 below, 360 above. 360 in your actions, 360 in your spirit and soul. 720 at the least. The scepter, and I put pen, pertaining to power, is placed in your hand, but not for yourself were these ensigns given, not meant for your own. So for those of you, yeah, I'm going to be a secure party creditor, what you got to do is a status correction, and then you can have it. Like, nah, man, that's not why this knowledge was given for some people with L and Bey to be sitting out here selling packages, trying to get people to correct their status just only according to being a better federal agent. Get a DBA, have this 98 number, be a better federal agent. That's what that is saying. I don't care who gets offended, go run and tell them. Just because it may, oh, well, see, but it works and I feel more confident. That doesn't take away the fact of what it means by definition, according to the statutes, codes, and policies. We should be able to use that pen in our hands and use it for the greater good of everyone. I yield, Brother Sean Islam.
The glory of a king is the welfare of his people. His power and dominion rest on the hearts of his subjects.
The glory of a king. And I know you see mother there, right? Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, when I was in my zone, when I was doing this, I'm like thinking like, okay, cool. Because what's funny is we're all crowned. When we manifest, and there's a terminology that they'll say when the mother's dilated, when her cervix is dilated 10 centimeters. And they'll see the crown of the baby's head and they'll be like, oh, they're crowning. Again, you already come here masterful and perfect. You got to be reminded. You can't be Negro, black, colored, African American. That's not ye ancient foremothers and forefathers pedigree. It's not according to their divine creed, and there's no record of those types of beings in the human family. There's no records that exist on the planet. So a lot of beings that don't know the truth pertaining to their nationality and birthright, you just got to admit to yourself that you don't know how to not be black and still eat, still feel accepted by most people. The word black didn't even get attested into the English language until between 450 and 1100 AD, because it's a term only meant in Old English. That word is just a little over 1,500 years old. because Old English was spoken between 450 Anno Domini and 1100 Anno Domini, and people are still using an Old English word to say that that's who they are. That is a sign of incompetence, non-compos mentis. I am not being mean. I'm giving you the absolute truth that I expect you to not believe. Therefore, research it yourself, and when you prove it to yourself, teach your loved ones. So when your mother, which is the first schoolroom, crowns that glory on you, she is the as above, the thought, the immaculate conception, so that you can take action and be that sun, so it is below. Just in terms of mother and son. But what if she has a daughter? So when mother brings mother, then that means that, like it says in the instructions, dear mothers, teach these lessons to ye little ones so they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order, and ye little ones will learn to love instead of hate. Her power and dominion is trusteeship. So her trusteeship rests on the hearts of her sons. So the reason why I put it in magistrate and subject in the term of mother and son is because that's all that's here. Even if you are a brother and you're with your consort, that is still mother and son. Because that's all we are, is just mother/sisters or son/brothers. That's all we are on this planet. Period. And they ain't on some the black woman is God. I don't get with that stupidness. I'm comprehending that no one can really pinpoint other than that this mother comes from thought. Period. Where does this woman come from? Nobody knows. She's a widow and nobody knows where she comes from. Cool. Thought, I'm going to say, is the source. Period. So, all sons have on their hearts, resting on their hearts, mothers considering the ends and importance of sons' trust. And that's a two-way street. Because remember, dear mothers, teach. Dear fathers, buy these lessons. So that means we mothers can teach from her thought. She can teach it, right? And make sure she's considering the ends and importance pertaining to the son's trust. So that even when the sons grow up and get with another mother to bring more little ones, and that mother that he gets with, she should be able to consider the ends and importance of the trust. And sons should be able to act out effectively those lessons in showing how considerate one is when considering the ends and the importance pertaining to others' trust. So it's a toroidal pattern. It is cyclical in nature. I yield, beloved brother Islam.
The mind of a great prince is exalted with the grandeur of his situation. He evolveth high things and searcheth for business worthy of his power.
I think I got a delay.
I would say, yeah, was you? All right, got you. 5. He calleth
Give me
together.
1 second. Let me turn this Wi-Fi off on my phone. Mercury retrograde. All right, we here, bro.
Indeed, bro.
So you said the mind of the man, right? Pertaining to a great prince. You see, I put mother again. Because again, what is her? See, for me, let's see. I'm gonna show you already. I could have waited till we got to chapter 28 next Sunday. But look at the top of my notes. The feminine principle equals potential. She, her, and hers. If I put hers also, she, her, hers is the potential. This is why mothers teach. This is why mother is thought, because it's the potential. The feminine principle in action is what we call masculine. He, him, his. It's kinetic. This is not anything sexist that I'm saying. Be clear. Be clear. It's nothing sexist that I'm saying. I'm just sharing with you my studies, which actually these past 9 years is why I conduct myself the way I conduct myself. You don't see me on Instagram trying to find ways to pick a fight and talk about people and how much of a Moor is a dirty Moor and stuff. Like, I'm not getting into that. I know I've had to, defend myself once, because it's like where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a band with you. Certain people, you don't do that in somebody's face. If you do that in somebody's face, you asking for a pine box. Like, let's just keep it a band. Now we are for peace and not destruction. So it's probably best that when people, violate what's in the second letter to be read in every meeting, they're being shown mercy. So y'all don't be confused when you see I got king there and put mother. And I'm not talking none of that homosexual BS either. I don't condone that shit either. So don't get shit twisted. So any mothers that, you sitting there practicing the mental instability called homosexuality, I'm not sitting here sanctioning any of that foolery and folly that you doing. King Jasmine, shut the fuck up. Respectfully. King Brittany, sit your dumb ass down and be a woman and respect yourself. Because technically, again, like chapter 25 says, if thy brother is in adversity, forsake him not. Adversity means bent over, bent or turned down. Assist him means to stand next to him and stand him up. But what does it say about the sisters? If thy sister is in trouble, etymologically, the word trouble will lead you back to muddy thinking. It says, forsake her not. Forsake means to prosecute, chase after her. Don't chase after her. Leave her to herself. Brothers, you're supposed to stand next to and stand up. Mothers, since they're the thought that's supposed to be considering the ends and importance of your trust, you got to leave them alone, because they don't want to be lonely. Not really. Not really. They can talk that mess, but they don't. Let's be clear about that. So when a mother says something lunchbox or some muddy thinking, or come off with any kind of energy that shows that there's some muddy thinking, it's actually best to do what chapter 28 verse 3 says. Let's get a sneak preview of chapter 28 verse 3. Be patient, therefore, under the reproofs of thy master. And when he rebukes thee, answer not again. The silence of your resignation shall not be forgotten. So when you silent, it's like, what? That's you doing chapter 25. Because if you turn master into mother and he into she, it's totally different. Be patient, therefore, under the smart mouthness, slick talking, sly words pertaining to any mother, whether it's your actual biological mother, it's your consort that you're with. And when she rebukes you, in other words, she says some things to you, talk down to you, get on your nerves, whatever, don't say nothing to her. Because the silence is not going to be forgotten. Like, man, like, all right, well, I'm not getting what I wanted out of the situation. And, I don't want to feel lonely. I don't want to seem like the only one that's acting stupid. When people like say, you can't win an argument with a woman. Well, yeah, you can. Say nothing. That way you're not even participating. I trust I'm helping some people out here. I hope I am. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, Islam, everyone. Mother Sahar says, peaceful greetings, Brother Hasan and Brother Sean, and to everyone in the chat. Brother Brother Seven Judah Bilal Bay says, peace and love. Jamnez says, seems the opening speech to be read before every meeting sounds like, wow, seems kind of familiar. Could it be? I don't even know what that means, but okay, gratitude. Seven, Judah Bilal Bay says, Islam twice. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, love for oneself, indeed. Mother Sahar says, indeed, exclamatorily. Mother Janelle Blash L says, Islam. And Brother Seven, Judah Bilal Bay says, Islam thrice. All right, so the mind of a great mother is exalted with the grandeur of her situation. And that doesn't mean like, oh, well, you got something or you got this, you got that. But it 9 times out of 10, the grandeur of your situation doesn't mean that you was some body trying to be kept or an ungrateful woman that was able to come up however you came up financially. And now you have this grandeur pertaining to your situation. No, 9 times out of 10, it's going to reflect in your countenance, your mind, how you treat people, how, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. Because we're all mother's children, even mothers that are mothers, where you are mother's child. Sons, brothers are mother's child. So we all come from some mother. So even when you saw on my Instagram the day, and I posted the first picture of a reel that I did, and it was the ischia cavernosus. And the ischia cavernosus is like, hold on, that's a vagina and a butthole. I'm seeing a vagina and an anus right now. What is wrong with Brother Hasan? Nothing. That's your Stargate. That's where everybody come from. You need to get over yourselves and really start respecting nature. Stop looking at it as, stop perverting it. Stop making it gross and stop perverting it. Enough is enough. So y'all not tired yet? Do you know if you call mother's body her lower half, any of that? I mean, I ain't saying go out here and expose it and show it off and be thought-like, but to even refer to it, oh, that's disgusting. Oh, hold on, that is just indecent. Then you're just expressing how much you hate yourself. Because look, you're hating that from which you come from. You're criticizing it in a way that just exposes that you hate it. That's all I'm saying. You ain't got to take what I'm saying. That's just how I see it. Everybody out here talking about they want to identify as something other than what they was born. They hate themselves and they hate nature. And nature should have been devoured them, taking them off the planet. I'm not being hateful. This is love, and I'm telling the truth, which should bring any of us peace, thus feeling free and justice no matter what takes its course. She evolves high things, not low things, and searches for business worthy of her power. Jesus Christ. I know power is an illusion, but mothers, how powerful really are you if the type of business that you find is not worthy of the power that you think you wield? And if mother's power is weak, you know her son's power is weak, because she carries an energy with her that can only make the entire environment weak and powerless. Do not take this as, oh, Brother Hasan being hard on mothers, oh, Brother Hasan being hard on sons. No, I'm giving the reality of when we're out of harmony with nature. These aren't things we should be trying to attain to that I not inform you appropriately, because that's what I'm supposed to do, that you are already born masterful and perfect. However, you got to be taught and reminded of all these things. Taught and reminded. I yield, my beloved brother Islam.
Let's see. 5. He calleth together the wise men of his kingdom. He consulteth among them with freedom, and heareth the opinions of them all.
Look at that. That sounds like somebody who is considering the ends and importance of those, those people that are trusting him and or her. Consults among them with the 4th principle. So they're already being loving, being truthful, and peaceful, which allows them to consult among the wise men with freedom. And here's the opinions of all of them. Not judging you, not trying to say, hey, the Moors think like this, they're dirty Moors. Like, you gotta leave them type of beings alone. They're not free. Nor are they wise, which is why they have no wise counsel to give, nor are they really thoroughly connected to true wise beings. Not really. Because even those beings that are wise even know, stay away from them types of people. Period. Whoever they are, no matter what accent they have or not. I'm open for correction, Brother Sean. I'm open for correction.
Beat on Pizzoint.
Islam. Brother 7 says Islam. Brother Derek says uplift fallen humanity, empower. Hasan, indeed. Indeed. I know, right? I got on a Sharif's fez, which is Mufti. I got on a Sharif's badge. I got on my Moor Sharif's fez, and I got a Sharif's badge on, right? This is a symbol of a Grand Sheikh Sharif. And still I say, I'm just Brother Hasan. When Brother Sean says, and here with the living master, never forget he's recognizing the living master within himself first. It's just like when we say namaste. Namaste to someone who's on your same level or younger is just like, and there's another one when somebody's older, you say namaskar. That's just saying, I see the divinity within you. I see the divinity that is within me also within you. That's what namaste and namaskar actually means. So that's the same thing as when Brother Sean says the living master. He's only saying, I see the divinity in me that is in you. And vice versa. How many Moors is out here sharing this with y'all like this? This ain't no, oh, let's aggrandize Brother Hasan and Brother Sean because they're teaching us this stuff. No, I'm just asking a realistic question. Because now you need to ask yourselves, If they could, wouldn't they? And if they actually can, why are they not? Well, because they have to wait for us to present and share these things. And then people that are fans of these beings that should have been telling you this stuff, then they'll actually recognize, hey, oh, snap, y'all had to listen to these beings younger than you in order for you to get these lessons, because there will be new Moors coming in with their eyes wide open to push you old Moors to the back. But nah, we just trying to sound all glamorous. Man, stop, man. We prophecy fulfilled. We are living, breathing, blood flowing prophecy manifested. And we still just saying we're just the brothers of Seven Hill Star. That's it. We're the Seven Hill Star astrology firm brothers. That's all. We're still doing what everyday people do. We're just regular sentient beings, still advertising, still giving what we can give every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturdays now. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're in lawful living, giving whatever energy we possibly can to add to that. We're taking our place amongst the affairs of men. We're not wasting our time talking about other people, violating Act 3 of the Divine Constitution and bylaws. The only reason people doing it is because there's no consequences for these people yet, but oh, they haven't gotten away. Justice is going to take its course. Just move out of the way of the pendulum and let it swing on by and hit who it's supposed to. Pardon me. I actually clicked on your picture, bro. That's why it took us back to the Zoom. All right, I yield, beloved brother. I think I did enough talking right there to lead us up for us to kind of flow through 6 through 19. I yield.
Indeed, yeah. Bro, yeah, you are, pardon me, he is on point. Folks really just got to realize and not look at things as they really want them to be or it presents, but to really observe and listen with spirit to that small, still voice. And yeah, it's simple. And with mothers bring life to the planet. So yes, mothers have to be on point for sons to be on point, but sons will also show mother as well, but it's being in harmony. If you really check the social media, what do they try to put down mother and everything else, and it's just folks hate themselves. If you're talking bad about mother, you hate yourself, because if you're gonna speak bad on what mothers do, and yeah, they can't get away from it either. But we all come from mothers, so does one, hate their own mother? This might just be a question I ask. If someone's talking bad, do you hate your mom? You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, this needs to be love, and mother needs to get on point, because the sons, the brothers, us men can't bring life to the planet. We can only assist.
Period.
That's it. Nobody gets here but by way of mother.
That's why even when we read next Sunday, master and servant. Master is mother, servant is son. Magistrate is subject. Mother is magistrate. Magistrate. Son is subject. That is not demeaning the sons and overly exalting the mothers. No, it's called order. And if the order was set appropriately, you wouldn't have a lot of us who come from mothers who actually hate themselves. And then we have to be the ones to actually take on the self-mastery to be better than the mothers we come from. Whether you are another mother or son from that mother that hates herself. Because the social engineering is so deeply indoctrinated within them. So you got to actually make a decision to relieve them from renting or having any space in your mind. And ye have to actually be the mother and or father that sets house in order that they could not be for you. Mm. Talking about any elder progenitor, period, regardless of what their beliefs are. You know better than them. So conduct yourself appropriately. You find yourself around a bunch of people that still like to bow their heads and say words over their food in a certain way, cool. You ain't got to do that way. You just sit, look around, and just be thankful. I'm thankful for this food, and I trust that, and I affirm that this food nourishes me, and anything that could cause harm is only utilized to edify my body. So mote it be. As I will, so mote it be. Some people may say, in Jesus' name, amen. Oh, cool, that's on them. You ain't got to feel guilty because you ain't bow your head, hold hands, and say in Jesus' name, amen. Especially when you are a Moorish American that knows better, because you're working the metaphysics, knowing that all of that is really speaking to yourself within, because Jesus is the I am identity pertaining to your consciousness within yourself. That's why when we read certain books, when we read the Bible, we read the Quran, we have the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore right there in the midst of the studies, so that we're not outwardly looking for imaginary beings to guide us and give us the grace. Man, that's all within you, man. Again,
right,
like I said, you're born masters, born masterful, and perfect. You got to be taught and reminded. Metaphysics. Yo, bro, what you about to say?
I was just saying, now it's like when folks be like, you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Well, I mean, I do accept myself. So, yeah.
Flat out.
Like, I do accept
when people
myself,
say
so
in
yeah.
Jesus' name on that part, if you are at a table like that, you go, in my name. And have everybody just look at you like,
what? They probably like, boy, what's wrong with you?
It's nothing
even
wrong
understand.
With somebody.
It ain't nothing wrong with me. It might be something wrong with you.
Flat out. Like your comprehension is nil. Like a hand of spades with no books. Nil.
Ugh, it's tough.
I yield, bro. Islam.
All right. 6, he looketh among his people with discernment. He discovereth the abilities of men and employeth them according to their merits.
Man, that sounds like, oh, look, let me see what, I see what you'll be good at in your astrology. It shows that these particular houses that show what you'll be good at in being, somebody who can add to the group. Okay, look, man, I see according to your astrology that these are your gifts. Does that resonate with you? Oh, it does. Well, hey, man, you can, work in that area to help add to the community. I yield, bro.
7, his magistrates are just. His or her ministers are wise, and the favorite of his or her bosom deceiveth them not.
Look at that. Look at that. The favorite of their bosom deceives them not, right? Look at that. So that means there's some trustworthiness going on. You feel me? Ain't no corruption in the spot. I yield.
All right, 8, he smileth on the arts, and they flourish. The sciences improve beneath the culture of her or his hand.
Look at that. Let's talk about arts and sciences improving, man. Look at that. That sounds like the trivium and quadrivium pertaining to the 7 liberal arts. Looky, Astro Cookie. Man. I told y'all, chapter 20, the whole Quran is beautiful, man. But man, this chapter 29 rocks. I yield, bro. Islam.
9, with the learned and ingenious, he delighteth himself. He kindleth in their breast emulation, and the glory of his kingdom is exalted by their labors.
Man, look at that. So with the learned and ingenious, mother and sons delight themselves. They are delighted to be with those that are learned and ingenious. And mothers and sons kindle They kindle in their breasts emulation. In other words, that means that there's a fire lit inside of the learned and the ingenious. It's like, man, yo, they like themselves with us, man. Oh, snap, hold on, man. I'm so glad that, even though they the ones we raised the sovereign power, they really fucking with us. Man, since they fuck with us, you know what, man? I'm gonna make sure that the glory pertaining to our community is exalted by the work we put in the community, by what we do to help build and keep strong our community. That's what this is about. People keep wasting their time with documents and status correct. You correct your status once you comprehend you're Moorish American. And if you want, like I did, you can go to RV Bay Publications and get those cards for yourselves. Or if people like I know, they're like, okay, well, I've been around people that got card machines, and when they got the card machines, I designed the cards because it was nothing for me to. I know how to put it like this. I delight myself with the learned and ingenious, so I know how to do things too. Period. All right, that's just what I'm saying. Right? Which means all these things are within also. How you, beloved brothers? Oh, Mother Sahara says, Brother Seven first says none. And I think that's when I asked, like, who else y'all see teaching this like this? Brother Seven says none. Or I say, how many other people are teaching like this? None. Mother Sahara says, yes, justice will take its course. Indeed, beloved mother, justice will take its course. And Brother Seven twice says Islam. I yield, Brother Sean.
Islam, the spirit or breath of the merchant who extendeth his commerce, the skill of the farmer who enricheth his lands, the ingenuity of the artist, the improvements of the scholar, all these he honoreth, or she honors with his or her favor, or rewards with her bounty.
Look at that. So that's right after talking about those that basically put their work in the community to show that they appreciate, having a fire kindled in their breasts by the fact that those that they raised the sovereign power actually fucking with them. Man, yo, they really fucking with me. Yo. I ain't no hater for real, yo. You know what I mean? So let me put my work in over here, man, because I know I'm appreciated amongst all these people in the community. Like, we really all are appreciated. Yo was appreciating the baker, the shoemaker, the candlestick maker. You see what I'm saying? The cobbler, the baker, the candlestick maker. Appreciating the carpenter. What'd you say, bro?
I said, you're spitting bars right there.
Oh, you're hilarious. I was actually from a nursery rhyme, but yeah, yo. But I'm just saying though, bro, like, real talk.
Yeah, that's how government's supposed to run. I mean, like, it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but I had just been like retrospect, and I was like just thinking, when he's like, I'm gonna leave the Europeans long enough to teach you government. It's like, government's really not that hard to run as folks are being honorable. When folks are greedy and unlearned, then they look to misuse their wills to, rob the labors of others. If everyone is getting the astrology and knowing what they're good at, okay, you'll be good for electrician, you'll be a good teacher, you'll be good this, you'll be good for that, and everyone's working together, then yes, the land is great because everyone is now able to be themselves and be their best selves without getting their property looking at, their consorts, or if they want to say wives or husbands, looked at and played. Like, it's really not much to it, but being, man.
Because if you really peep 10, right? If you really peep 10, right? Remember, you know how in the Constitution it says that basically the one who's supposed to be basically giving finances for any and everything is Congress. So let's look at Congress as those that are raised to sovereign power. When the merchant extends his commerce, when the farmer enriches the land, when the artists share their ingenuity and scholars make improvements, they're supposed to be getting that bread from those that have been raised to sovereign power. The merchant shouldn't be trying to, get bread for the farmer. Let me get this bread so I can get this produce from the farmer. The artist ain't supposed to be like, I got to get this bread to holler at the scholar to get these improvements so I can do better artwork. Like, that's not how it's supposed to go. It's saying it right there. Chapter 29, verse 10. I hope we can see that. So that lets you know that this faith-based currency indentured service, falsely called commerce system, is on some BS. You ain't supposed to be out here trying to chase the bag. You should be getting compensated. Since it only take an application to fill out for so-called Federal Reserve notes. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Reward with bounty should be coming from those that we raise to sovereign power, our equals. However, these people think they're not equals because they're part of Congress and all this, and now they've gone corrupt, and now they can be rogue, and now they cannot consider the ends and the importance of your trust in them. Don't sound like no equals no more. Because don't get it twisted. The monarchy split up into three branches called legislative, executive, and judicial is absolutely a Moorish platform that has been infiltrated and is within it have corruption going on. Period. I yield, bro, Islam.
He planteth new colonies. He buildeth strong ships. He openeth rivers for conveyance. He formeth harbors for safety. His people abound in riches, and the strength of his kingdom increaseth.
Look at that. It's very Jupiterian of he or she. Like those little games that you play and you got to play a certain amount of game and it's like, oh, now they build a house. Oh, now it's a whole community. Oh, now they've done this and played this many games. Now you have the finances to make it a town now. See how they put Koran in games?
I'm trying to think. What's that little game like Farmland or some shit like that? Farmville.
I think it is Farmville. I think it is. Right? If you got questions, comments, and or suggestions, guys, y'all can always put it in the chat at any time. How you, Brother Sean? Islam.
All right, 12. He frameth his statutes with equity and wisdom.
Whoa. As much as we talk about statutes, codes, and policies, right? And then we say what's going on out here with these statutes, codes, and policies. And then the Quran says he frames his statutes with equity and wisdom. Equity. Y'all hear equity? You ain't hear frames it with admiralty and maritime. Y'all, that's not what it's saying. No matter how many strong ships are being built, it says equity and wisdom. Not admiralty and maritime. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm pointing out to you again, it's a Moorish platform that has been infiltrated and has rogue activities happening within it. Corruption spewing from it because of these beings forgetting that they are your equals. And a lot of them are just your sons and daughters. Who are out of harmony with nature and out of harmony with equity and wisdom, who are not being prudent and exerting reason. I yield. I'm just saying, man, that one right there, that's heavy. That is heavy.
His subjects or her sons enjoy the fruits of their labor and security, and their happiness consists of the observance of the law.
Stop it. Don't stop it, yo. Observance of the law is obedience. Their happiness consists. That means consist is like saying withstands. Their happiness withstands. Consist is also like saying constitute, constitution. Their happiness stands with obedience. yo.
With nature's law, not color of law. I didn't say the observance of color of the law. It said the law.
I said you can take these holy books, all the law books, and the law books are the holy books. If you can see, I'm trying to tell you.
Subjects enjoy the fruits of their labors. Bill of Rights 4.
To be secure in you person's houses, papers, and effects.
Their happiness
against any unwarranted searches and seizures. What'd you say?
I said their happiness, was that Bill of Rights 1, pursuit of happiness, of observance? Come on, yo.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I think, is Declaration of Independence.
I said Bill of Rights 1, Declaration of Independence. Mm-hmm. There we go. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what it is. Yeah. It's supposed to be actually life, liberty, and property, I think. Honestly, but pursuit of happiness. Why not?
And then it's like, one doesn't even have to pursue happiness. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like you're chasing something. It's like want to have to be happiness, be content. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not actually chase after something, but we get it. But it's like yeah, one that doesn't have to chase that. But
it sounds like you got to chase it somewhere where the statutes are framed with admiralty and maritime and not equity and wisdom.
Wisdom, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the happiness stands with obedience. So observance of the law. So if the law is actually being observed because the statutes are framed with equity and wisdom, then it will be their CoreCivic, which is the new name of Corrections Corporations of America, called CoreCivics. They are traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the trade or stock exchange ticker CXW. And all they are is the privatized prison corporation. They used to be called Corrections Corporations of America. Now they're called CoreCivic Incorporated. And they're traded. I dare somebody to Google now. Google CXW, CoreCivic, but keep CoreCivic one word, CoreCivics. And there's going to be stock. There's going to be a stock quote or stock statistics that pops up. It's doing horrible right now, especially since Bob Barker transitioned. Because Bob Barker is the one who was making sure that the prisoners were clothed. So all the clothes, all the sheets and cots and everything that's in there for the prisoners, Bob Barker. Oh yeah, Price is Right guy. Mm-hmm. I remember when people would come home from jail and they ain't had a property, or somebody took their property, and they come home in them shoes that look like Bruce Lee wore. In the hood, we call them the Bob Barkers. Like, damn, yo, you just came home, yo, you got on the Bob Barkers, yo, let's get you right, y'all. Because everybody gonna know you just came home if you wearing Bob Barkers. You don't want to be out here sporting Bob Barkers. That's prison gear. You're almost giving a signal that you want to go back. Flat out. So since people framing, which is, who are these people? The Uniform Law Commission. who is making sure they're trying to force people to be employees. That doesn't seem very equitable or wise. So where the people now have to, in order to have their happiness stand with obedience of the law, they got to point out to the people who are supposed to have been raised to sovereign power to know this, and they got to teach them. Do records requests. Ask them, hey, man, since how long have I been an agent that's actually supposed to be acting under these statutes? Oh, I'm not an agent or an employee that's supposed to be acting under statutes, then you can't charge me with shit. You can't be like, show up to this courtroom because this being is suing you according to this statute. No, I'm not an employee. It's like somebody telling you to show up for this McDonald's meeting because you violated a McDonald's rule. You're not an employee for McDonald's. That's exactly what it is with these statutes, codes, and policies. That's just how it goes, period. Mother Sahar says, equity and wisdom with an exclamation point. Brother Seven says Islam. Brother Dark says, wow, enjoy the fruits of their labor in security. Yeah, it's right. That's what I said, man. Man, if we just, I'm telling you, I remember when Brother Todd shared with me, the law books are the holy books and the holy books are the law books. And I only had to hear it once before I just went like, we really dive into it. And that's when I started finding like, oh, you can't beat people up with the Bible and the Quran alone. You can beat them up with the Holy Quran. You can beat them up with an I Ching. You can beat them up with, you know what I mean, the Torah, the Apocrypha, the Kabbalah. You can beat them with a Kabbalion. Because all of them have the same universal principles, just explained from different, perspectives. Period. All right. Hey, yo, bro, what's wrong?
13. He foundeth his judgments on the principle of mercy, but in the punishment of offenders, he is strict and impartial. Period.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so she finds her judgments on the principles pertaining to mercy. Mercy. Didn't I mention mercy earlier? How you got people out here wilding, but since they're not in close proximity for real. Because a lot of these people who are supposed to be Moorish Americans that are supposed to have some title, they're out here really only doing, they'll try to discourage you from doing magic, but they're clearly energy working in the background. A lot of these people are doing energy work. And they're hypnotizing other minds to try to keep themselves popular. So they get around other people that want to like still kind of portray being a little gangster based on where they're from. I'm from the Baltimore Corporation. What's it going to benefit me acting like I'm from the streets from Baltimore? No matter how much I've seen what I seen. You know what I'm saying? And really knowing what time it is. I don't have to glorify that. That's some clown shit. That's some goofy shit, as they say out there in the Midwest. So who cares what hood you from? I'm from the low end of this spot, or I'm from this number street. Who cares? You're from a corporation. You want to glorify that and then mix that in with you being Moorish American. You still got a sum to solve, or some sums to solve. Because to me, that shit sounds corny. Because what does that matter if I'm really in my Quran and 101 for real? And I'm really working to make sure we doing what we supposed to be doing. Because again, for what I know ain't just for me, even though in the oral statements and prophecies of Prophet Noble Drew Ali of Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, it says, number one, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. Right? I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. And that's why some people be like, well, I mean, he said take it and save yourself. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to if you find yourself around a bunch of people who have the same information, but not everybody getting it the same way. It's not clicking for everybody the same way. It would be much easier to work together provided everybody can really see. Like how I'm sharing right now, honestly, the way we sharing chapter 29, Brother Sean, y'all, if people was like, if we really could link up, I'm telling you, this chapter alone would make people like, all right, hold on, well, let's all link and find out who's good at what. And then we make that happen. Who really is chopping up these books? Okay, well, those that chopping up the books and got to really write this stuff, okay, they're going to be the ones you know what I mean? They're going to have to write some things. We got to make sure they eating, they have what they have or whatever just to sustain, but everybody else still eating too. Like, it would be such a divine balance and respect. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to, you know what I mean? Oh, this brother trying to sleep with this mother that really is supposed to be with this brother or whatever. It wouldn't be none of that either. It would be so much honor. You see what I'm saying? In the community that nothing else would really matter. But anyway, I yield, bro. Islam.
His ears are open to the complaints of his subjects. Her ears are open to the complaints of her sons. He restraineth the hands, or she restrains the hands of their oppressors, and he or she delivereth them from their tyranny.
Exactly. Oh, and that last part of 13, strict and impartial with offenders. So strict and impartial. I mean, ain't no mercy for you. But yeah, their ears are open to the complaints pertaining to their subjects. Look at that. So one could also look at it like, okay, well, you know, if one is a said employee or whatever, then okay, well, the complaint should be heard because one is an employee. But you know who else is the subject are those that aren't necessarily an employee, so to speak. Because when you're talking magistrate and subject, you're talking about, again, a subject is still your equal that raised the magistrate to sovereign power. So just because they're not a magistrate doesn't mean they're not your equal. Because they're not a magistrate doesn't mean they're not your equal. They're still your equal. They just took the position that's not magistrate. You're not the magistrate, you're a subject. But that don't mean that you're to be treated unfairly and you're not to be heard. Because again, remember, the statute's supposed to be, and are, and should be, when there's the right people in the right seats, framed with equity and wisdom. So she restrains the hands of the oppressors. So really, when you are a magistrate, you're supposed to be like, whoa, time out, man. You actually trying to oppress these people with X, Y, and Z. So nah, man, nah, we need to find, that's why, you know, if Moors was really ready, then yeah, you could go and be a judge somewhere, be a mayor, be a county executive, be a county auditor, be a lieutenant governor, be a president of this, because it's your stuff. And then you can be fair. You ain't got to do things according to some boys group of Freemasons that don't really comprehend that being a Mason is mother and son. So you're already born Freemaster Masons and Eastern Stars and don't need to be made over again, but fucked in a lodge somewhere. It's just for so-called brotherhood. Or pegging sisters for some sisterhood. Nobody got time for this bullshit, man. Time for us to really be doing what needs to be done. Flat out. Mother Sahar says, CoreCivics, CXW. It says in 2020, they made $1.9 billion in revenue and 82.2% came from private prisons. That's your that's your Bob Barkerness working there too. Brother Seven says, true. Hey, yo, bro, Islam. Oh, hold on. His ears are open to complaints, restrains the hands of oppressor. and delivers them from tyranny. Okay, I kind of made that point. I'm going, hey man, nah, cut that shit out. That's how some people that's really sitting on benches really supposed to be. But they talking about, oh, we can't interfere in good faith. Well, judicial complaint on your ass. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, man, we put together what, this study, and I get it. I know, guys, I've been on this for 9 years straight. That's my plight in life. I haven't, or my present, my gift in life, I wasn't graced to work longer than 4 months anywhere. I don't know what it's like to work for somebody, be with a company for anywhere longer than 4 months. So the only thing that's ever been strong for me is me doing my own ventures, whether it's music for that or really wild that, some way, shape, or form, bean pies and cakes when I was in the Nation of Islam at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, #1. I wasn't with none of the mosques under Farrakhan. I was under Brother Khalif. All right. Emmanuel Abdullah Muhammad. All right. That's what was known as far as Muhammad's Temple of Islam, #1. You see what I'm saying? With the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, not Final Call. All right. So that's where I thrive. I always thrive not working for somebody. I was always been for myself. And then I was always studying. I comprehend my chart for it. My vertex in Scorpio. So I already know what I need to do by my vertex in Scorpio. I yield, bro. Islam 15.
His people, therefore, look up to him as a father with reverence and love. They consider him as a guardian of all they enjoy.
Look at that. That's how stuff really supposed to be going. For real. When the prophet was on the scene, there was a few people that looked at him like that, and there was a few people who wanted to be him and take over and knock him off. They should have been the ones devoured by some type of cataclysm. The earth should have opened up where they walked and just swallowed them and then closed back up. And like, where that brother go that was behind us? He was just walking with us. The earth just had a meal. Anyway, I yield.
My spirit should have just been put in a void and closed. Never to be come out again. Just in a timeless void. All right. All right, 16. Their affection unto him begetteth in his breast a love of the public. The security of their happiness is the object of his care.
The security of their happiness, which stands with observance of the law, is the object. Like, yo, what's the object of this game? You to make sure. What's the object of your care, man? I need to make sure that that I'm securing their happiness. That's what the object of this position is. Not, oh well, I got this boys club and we meet in lodges, so we got to find a way to railroad people into the prison system so we can make our finances via CoreCivic Incorporated. Yeah, man, you got that fresh order of Bob Barker wear in here for the inmates. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Talking about Bob Barker died at 99. Who gives a fuck? That's why the clothes and all that other stuff in commissary exists how it exists, and a lot of people are unfairly put into that situation. Unfairly put into that situation. I yield.
For real. 17, no murmurs against him arise in their hearts. The machinations of his enemies and danger, not the state.
So in other words, when Prophet Noble Ali was on the scene and those that was really fucking with him, they didn't even have in their hearts things to say about him that's against him. And then those that people was trying to maybe make up that was against him, they couldn't really mess with the standing of the situation. The state, the standing trust, Because remember, what's supposed to be considered far higher than the importance of one's station. Let's go back and look at that real quick. Real quick. Consider the ends and importance of their trust far more than the dignity and height of your station. I'm a grand sheik and don't nobody give a fuck. Unless you consider the ends and importance of their trust. But if you're a grand sheik, you're supposed to be making law and enforce law. You can't do that trolling the internet. You can't do that, talking about I'm going to be around the people so I can get along with the people. That's not going to work either. A lot of your grand sheiks aren't eating how they would like to eat because they're not really teaching this, because I don't think they really know this, respectfully. They don't. And the only way they could say they know it now is because they're watching our presentations like, oh, damn, that is good. Oh, God, man, I got to get back into it. And then they're going to try to adopt the spirit of what we have. They're going to try to take the spirit of what we have and put it on themselves like lotion or like spirit screen or something.
Spirit
sunscreen. Yeah, something like that. And then they're going to be like, now let me try to emulate the wisdom that's coming out these young boys' mouth. I mean, we just being ourselves because we're serious about being sincere, true, and faithful Moors. I'm glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire them to know the truth and the divine truth. Isn't that what we're sharing? Any more try to say, nah, brother, see, that's not how it's supposed to go. What it really is, why are you just speaking up now then? Why haven't you been speaking up? How many years do I have of speaking up like this? There's over 9 years from Facebook to Instagram to YouTube. So any so-called Moor that's been in the movement before I was born, you only speak up. If you speak up now, it's because you're trying to control me. You're trying to gatekeep. You're trying to resist being pushed to the back. I'm not against you. I'm just saying, continue to be quiet. Don't say nothing now because you're inspired. Respectfully. I yield, beloved.
Indeed. All right, let's see. 18. His subjects are faithful and firm in his cause. They stand in his defense as a wall of brass. The army of a tyrant fleeth before them as chaff before the wind.
Look at that. Jesus Christ. Look at that. His subjects are faithful and firm. Y'all really thought Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm was just trying to be a play on like law firm. No, when I say firm, that means we're firm in what we stand for. So we're Seven Hill Star. We are astrology firm. I'm not playing. That's what it actually means. That's my intentions. That's Zodiac Constitution at its foundation. I don't care what anybody says. Firm in his cause. We stand in the prophet's defense. Defend your prophet and your temple. Like being a wall, we the wall of brass. The army of a tyrant gets the fuck out of there because they don't want to fuck with them. And it's like they are like chaff before the wind, how fast they get away from those that are faithful and firm in the prophet's cause. This is where you can beat them with the pen. Remember, the scepter of power was put in your hands, not for yourselves, but for your brothers and mothers. I yield, bro. 19.
Security and peace bless the dwelling of his people, and glory and strength encircle his throne forever.
Look at that. There's that circle again. Security and peace. Security is Cancer. Peace is the third principle. That's a 4 and a 3. That's a 7. Because Cancer is the fourth sign. Peace is the third principle. 4 and 3 is 7. That's completion. Security and peace. Blood sacrifices the dwelling. It's funny because dwelling means to be struck in the head. A residence, a dwelling means to be struck in the head. So are these people struck in the head with something that's opposite of lower self-living? Dual-edged sword, these words, right? Words, W-O-R-D-S, take the S to the beginning, it's now sword. Dual-edged sword, these words. In glory and strength. Encircles his throne forever. Prophet Noble Ali sitting in that chair. Okay, I'm just saying they're sitting in his throne. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Mother Sahar said, I thought Bob Barker was already dead. A lot of people did, but I'm just saying, I guess it was an article that got released on TMZ, and we saw a post on Instagram. Head Crack had posted it. And, you know, basically what I said about Bob Barker here in CXW, I had typed in this post in the comments. I wasn't, you know, trying to troll or knock or be dishonorable. Shout out to, you know, Mully, man, because one time I was on a live with Mully, and he had Head Crack on there. So it was like me, Mully, Head Crack, and Mully's co-host at that time, Marco. So it was a Mully and Marco show, and me and Head Crack were like the guests at the same time. So that was the first time I kind of got to meet Head Crack. You know what I mean? Brother who is an ingenious artist. He's definitely very humorous. He has like very intellectual humor. But a lot of people know him as a rap artist and like a co-host on Dish Nation or whatever. But we were able to like converse, right? And so basically, you know, we were able to follow each other on Instagram based off of Mully making a connection. You know what I'm saying? Because got a few brothers that are, you know quite a few people that are, and we're all from here, the Baltimore Corporation. I, Mully, and our brother Chibe, who is one half of the group Rough Ends, you know, the R&B group Rough Ends. And so we're all from here, the Baltimore Corporation. And it's funny how, you know, we've all kind of like linked, got to know each other, reunited. It's all a combination of that. So we get to kind of like have other people within our, you know, social media circles, and, you know, we have certain things happen, like link up, meet, things of that nature. So when, in long story short, when Head Crack had posted that, I was like, So a lot of people was like, I thought he was dead already. Mother Sahar says, that's correct. If you've been a Grand Sheik all those years, why haven't you been teaching this information? Right. I mean, but, you know, and Mother Sahar, you're absolutely correct. Why now, like, oh, well, now I'm going to speak up and be like, see, the brother ain't, with those brothers at Seven Hill Star, they got a good spirit. But see, man, they ain't really got it. See, this is how you really supposed to do it, Mo. Check this out, Mo. Let me tell you, Mo. All right, Mo, you know what I'm saying, Mo? This is how we do it. You know what I'm saying? Do I look like some old gangster from the Midwest trying to control the nation and the movement? Because that's how that spirit comes off to me. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you how this Midwest peppery do with this fizz, baby. Let me tell you how it really go. You know what I'm saying? That's how it sounds to me. That's how it really sounds. If anybody tries to speak up and go, oh, you ain't got it. Well, what made you go in hiding? Not that I want to find out. John S says, seems a lot of lowercase in here when it says Prophet Noble Ali. Okay, there seems the Prophet Noble Ali speaking about no backbiting. Meanwhile, people, quote unquote, backbiting him, blacklisted, quote unquote, discredited him, cut him off from funds, and gaslighted him at every step. Effed up. Bro, the letter that we read in every meeting, since you're mentioning that, Jamnez, let's really go to that letter that's read in every meeting, right? Where is it? Okay. Now, let's pay attention to two things. This is our authority. Prophet Noble Drew Ali recorded this, okay? There was a meeting first. Pay attention. There was a meeting on the 20th day of July, Anno Domini 1928. It says it was held at, quote unquote, Chicago in the county of Cook and state of Illinois, right? So this is Prophet Noble Drew Ali taking the Moorish Holy Temple of Science to adopt its corporate name, Moorish Science Temple of America, so that we can be able to be a separate state, so to speak, which is a de jure state, however, recorded on the record of this particular county by utilizing full faith and credit by filing it there near the Cook County Corporation, near the Illinois State Republic, filing it there with Salome Jaskonakich, who was the recorder, all righty? Filing it there, and then it, even though it was filed there, full faith and credit should make it effective anywhere, so-called, quote unquote, dealing with any so-called United States state republic, so to speak, right? Or state of, since it says state of Illinois, right? That was recorded, as you can see, even though the meeting took place July 20th July 1928, it was recorded 12 days later. July has 31 days, 20th to the 31st is what? 11 days. The 1st of August will make it 12. So 11 and a half to 12 days later, on August 1st, at 1452 Central or 252 Post Meridian Central, it's recorded, right? SS stands for Synopsis Series of the United States Department of Treasury, or the United States Treasury Department. That's what SS means, Synopsis Series. So actually, our authority, we shouldn't be trying to, oh, let's run around trying to get some Federal Reserve notes. No, we really are about what Prophet Noble Drew Ali has for us. We wouldn't be trying to run around for Federal Reserve notes, period. Because we would be able to really know how to use this record. But of course, those of us that do know what needs to be written, we still got to actually write it, put it together, and make sure we're coming as a whole in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's just 5 of us, like it was just Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Nearly Ill, Small Bay, Lovey Bay, and Foreman Bay. That's 5, right? All right. So now with that being said, think about it. Since you mentioned the Jen, there's like that. It was backbiting him, trying to blacklist him, trying to cut him off from funds and stuff like that. I want you to do ye math. The meeting was in July. July 20th. We're going to count from July. You guys can get a calendar out if you want while we're counting this. July was when the meeting was to make sure that the Moorish Holy Temple of Science adopt as its corporate name the following: Moorish Science Temple of America. So like the free national appellation is Moorish Holy Temple of Science, but the corporate name to do religious corporate activity by affidavit of organization, the corporate name is Moorish Science Temple of America. So the people would be the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. That would be like the Moorish Holy Temple of Science would be the Power Rangers. However, to be able to facilitate things that the Power Rangers need, let's look at being able to get things for the people. We got to have a Megazord to defeat things out there, to be able to have victory for Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Cool. That Megazord is Moorish Science Temple of America. We're clear on that? So the Moorish Science Temple of America is meant to be a conduit to get what the people for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, things that they need, so that they can be able to attain to the higher spiritualities of life as written in the Moorish leader's historical message to America. Let me make my point, since you were saying in that comment that they blacklisted him and backbite him. Cool, Jimmy, it's cool. All right, cool. All right, you made that comment? Fine, no problem. Let's do the math. 20th July, 1928. On January 18th, let's count. Let's start from July 20th. July 20th, August 20th, right? So from July 20th to August 20th, that's 1 month. August 20th to September 20th, 2 months. September 20th to October 20th, 3 months. October 20th to November 20th, 4 months. November 20th to December 20th, 5 months. December 20th to January, that's not the 20th. That's 2 days short of a month. So that's 5 months and 28 days after a meeting that Prophet Noble Drew Ali had with Small Bey, Lovett Bey, Emilio, and Foreman Bey. He's got to put a letter to be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I'm glad to know I have a few faithful Moors among you all. And I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. Because you ban some jealous motherfuckers. Okay, you didn't say that. There's a host of jealousy about me. And are we seeing that mathematics? There's a meeting July 20th, 1928. January 18th, 1929. 5 months. It's not even a whole half a year yet. You can't even round it. Well, it's 2 days away from a half a year. No, all law is specific. 5 months and 28 days. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is writing about the jealousy. People thinking it was a joke and unreal. What? These people were super hating on the prophet. There's some stories from some of these elders that got passed down to them from other elders from their time, talking about there was somebody one time had chased Prophet Noble Drew Ali around the temple with a knife, and they try to back it with it being written in the oral statements and prophecies of Noble Drew Ali, which I do take with a grain of salt. You know, I use my discernment to see what is what. And I'm telling you, I can see clearly that people really didn't. Not all of them. That's why it says, I'm glad to know I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. Not gonna belabor that. Brother Sean, you want to add any wisdom to that, bro? I hope I stayed on point with that.
Man, yeah,
I know it's late. I know we got to yield. What'd you say, bro?
I said, man, that was fire.
Islam.
Yeah, I think folks really gotta just look for themselves, and and it's still, to hear others out, but really look and use discernment for yourself. With that. And think. Dare to think. Dare to think. No mind knows not by being told. So don't be afraid to do that research, to take that time to look at things and run things through your mind, and listen to that small, still voice inside of yourself.
Any questions, comments, and or suggestions? Going once. Brother Sean, what are we going in on Intuition Monday?
We're going in on Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, that's what we're going in. That's what we're going in on for Intuition Monday, guys. So we'll be seeing y'all in a few hours for Intuition Monday, probably in the next 12 to 13 hours or so. We'll be seeing y'all. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, gratitude, love, and respect, brothers Hasan and Sean, with multiple exclamation points. Indeed, Brother Derek, Islam to you, beloved. Because I know we East Coasting and it's almost, 130. It's 1:25 a.m. And I get it, guys. It came on a little late, but I know I had things to tend to, with my loved ones, wanted to do some things, you know what I'm saying? Because you guys already know, I love my family, right? I love my kinship, right? Those sentient beings that are my loved ones. All right. And I'm pretty sure, Brother Sean, you had to do what you had to do with your loved ones too, including the puppies. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, they love to study now. They always jumping up now. I'm even trying to watch some videos and they just jump. I'm like, oh, y'all trying to study, huh? I'm like, okay. Y'all letting the pups out study, some of y'all out there. Pups be on the videos.
Hey, yo, you're hilarious, bro. Mother Sahara says, gratitude, Brother Hasan, Brother Sean, indeed, beloved mother. She exclaims that also. We love you all. And we want you all to rest and recharge well. We'll see you in about 12 to 13 hours. All right. We'll go in on Keanu Reeves' chart. You guys don't want to miss that because this is where you guys get to see how we're going to look at some things and contemplate some things about Keanu Reeves. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be kind of like in improv fashion because I haven't really looked at Keanu Reeves' chart. Maybe I could look at a little bit of it tonight. Maybe I'll look at a little bit of Keanu Reeves' chart tonight or whatever. And we always take it with a grain of salt if it's really these celebrities' charts because they call themselves younger than what they are and stuff like that. What's going on in your brain, bro? You got that thinking?
No, I was trying to think. I think we might have briefly went over his chart in the Moon Mercury workshop. I think we briefly went over his chart.
Oh, okay. Well, you already know how I do, bro.
So it was briefly, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going in on it. Okay, yeah. I guess I just have to be reminded. That's all.
I think, it was briefly, because I know we looked at like Whitney Houston. I think it was briefly.
Yeah, Whitney Houston, Keanu Reeves, and Amy Winehouse.
Oh, that third one that we stumbled on.
Yeah. Yeah, that Amy Winehouse one was real. Like the spirit was amazing. You see what I'm saying? Mother Sahara says Astro Dogs. He talking about the puppies, yo. That is such a Cancer thing because that's where the dog star Sirius is lined up with Cancer right now, about 14 degrees ish. That's actually very hilarious, Mother Sahara. That's hilarious, right? So with that being said, questions, comments, and or suggestions going. Twizzers. Right? Jamnez says, love y'all. Indeed, Jamnez. We love you all too.
Wow.
All right. We trust that y'all rest and recharge well. And this is where I and Brother Sean normally say, be ye selves and
donate,
because you guys will see. And don't be afraid. You can donate to both me and Brother Sean. That's why I put both the Cash Apps up there. So you think, man, I want to donate 30. Okay, cool. Send 15 to me, send 15 to Brother Sean. You know what I'm saying? So that, you guys are definitely working that out. Or just put a note. If you send it all to just one of us, be like, hey, man, this is for you and Brother Sean. And it's like, okay, me and Brother Sean, we know how to, use a calculator, divide by 2. We get it. You know what I mean? Like somebody, you know, when Brother Sean was like, yeah, my solar return coming up, and somebody hit my cash app. It was like for the brother solar return. And I'm like, all right, I made sure Brother Sean knew. Let me hit the screenshot. Be like, look, this brother said it's for your solar return. So I sent them the whole thing. You know, I mean, that's times when we, you know, not splitting stuff like that as far, you know, it's like, hey man, I'm getting this, you know, I don't think that's happened yet. Somebody wanted something from you, but he sent it to my Cash App and I had to send it like to you. That hasn't happened, but we're very fair is what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? We're not here being funny with the finances, anything like that. Brother Seven, Judah Bilal Bay says peace and love also. So guys, no more questions, comments, and or suggestions going to price. Remember, go to sevenhillstar.com, sign up for our email list, guys. And seriously, get your sessions. You won't be disappointed. You can't afford a mirror AstroLiteracy session. You know, soon there will be other people out there, you know, that may be pushing for Seven Hill Star to, you know, do charts and stuff. And, you know, we're going to empower them possibly with promo codes, but it's necessarily something that we're going to make a public announcement about or whatever. But there are going to be times in time where, you know, the mirror session can get discounted. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a Moorish American with a student card, I'll always work out something for Moors. Always. I know the mirror session is 459 units in lieu of lawful money. I can always work out something, especially for Moors or those of you with the student card, or those of you that whenever you see posts pop up for a particular day and it says, hey, on this day, we're taking 39% off. If you can take advantage of it, take advantage of it, because then it goes from 459 to 279.99, right? But if all you can afford is 153, then that'll get you an hour session. You know what I'm saying? With if you want to, you know, a report from Brother Sean for the Mental Magician report, I know that's going for like 450 right now, but it's worth it. But I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if you like did the different levels, but I know Brother Sean got a 1.0 or 2.0 and a 3.0. I know that 3.0 report is definitely 450 if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I'll let Brother Sean go into those details. And also Brother Sean does the mirror session. He can technically conduct the mirror session. You see what I'm saying? Or our session. So it's like, you know, I know that you guys are seeing I and Brother Sean the most. So, and we're actually saying, you know, come to us. You know what I mean? I just know how we normally promote. I'd be like, hey, because everybody know that's what I started out with is the mirror session. That's basically, you know, my thing that I commenced. Even though we're all qualified and just like I could do reports. However, I tell you guys, go for your mental magician report from Brother Sean. You see what I'm saying? So that you can just really get the best of both worlds. There's so much we can do, like, especially for those of you want to, you know, travel somewhere. You got a reading for that. You know what I mean? Let you know how things can go if you decide, hey, look, man, I'm about to take this trip over here. You know, can I get a session or a report about, you know, lining up my astrology with this particular location, and we can do that flawlessly, actually, just like everything we do else with astrology flawlessly, right? So with that being said, oh, Jesus Christ, bro, you really put all of that in the chat. I normally wouldn't advise people doing that.
What is
it? I think somebody put all their natal information in the chat.
delete.
Yeah. I see it, but I would probably I would take that out the chat, Janez, just respectfully, just in case you don't want anybody trying to be wrong. But he says he lost contact. We'd love to get a mirror or have us review the chart, perhaps for erudition for a class if it can help. No PayPal, no bank account, etc. Can get a free sample. Maybe I can get a free sample. Get that sea moss in the smoothies too. Oh yeah, you get Smooth. You get sea moss from Brother Corey, right? Yeah. See, since we provide on our chart a free natal chart calculator, that kind of covers the sampling. So, like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of covers the sampling. But maybe something could be thought of in the future. Maybe. You know what I mean? But we're very responsible. We don't normally, if we do someone's astrology out in the open and in public, we're not really sharing the natal time, natal date, natal location openly out of respect for our energy in the universe and as well as your energy. And we probably wouldn't say certain things too. We would just probably get straight to the point of what we're seeing without getting technical and saying, well, this planet is in this sign, in this house. We probably wouldn't do that either, because, you know, me, when I listen to certain astrologers and they say certain things certain ways, I can kind of figure out almost the time they were born just based off of them just saying, yeah, well, my sun was here and the moon was here and there was this ascendant and I'm this old. And I'd be like, well, I know what year.
Mm-hmm.
I know how old they are, and I know what the sun, moon, and ascendant placement is. There'll be no time to rectify that chart without them even telling me really too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I could find out pretty easily by listening a certain way, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's all good. So with that being said, any of you that missed this and you're just coming in, no worries. Go back and look at the replay. This was thorough. If I could say so myself, this was very thorough in what we are presenting. So with that being said, yeah. You can always erase your comments, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good. But yeah, like I said, since we provide a free natal chart calculator on 7 Hill Star, that's why we kind of did that, because that'll cover like the testers and stuff like that. And we're presenting what it is that we do. You know what I'm saying? However, we do know how important it is to have a session with us, but I respect myself and my energy, and like for y'all to do the same when it comes to that. I'm not knocking, I get it. People have different financial so-called situations or something. So for me, the best I can do is for a free sample is you cast your chart there on 7hillstar.com and see what you can get out of that there. Just once you go past casting the chart and just being able to observe what's there by what you do on 7 Hill Star via the Astro Charts widget that we have up there, you're no longer doing any type of particular transactions with 7 Hill Star. You would be transacting with Astro Charts, which is some colleagues of ours that probably doesn't even know that we have the widget that they provided us, even on the website. You know what I'm saying? They just, they have it for those of us that are sincere astrologers that have it on our websites. But other than that, guys, like I said, we love you all. Brother Sean, any last comments? Questions or suggestions?
Like I said, things are marked off on the website for 720 Astro Healing, 32%. So get those before upcoming solar return, and it's kind of about it for me. Join us tomorrow. And
I heard that Brother Sean got his stuff on the website for 32% off. You got until his solar return to take advantage.
That's about that, because after that, yeah.
Yuppity duppity. Brother Sean is going to lead us on the invocation now. You know what I'm saying? the free chart calculator is on 7healstar.com. It's one of the first things you see. It's at the top, right? With that being said, guys, Brother Sean is going to lead us on our invocation now. We're going to stand with our feet on a 45-degree angle with all 5 appendages on the left hand extended, just the index and middle on the right. We're going to face east, which is metaphysically symbolic to going within. And you can repeat after Brother Sean either aloud or in the heart. Islam.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Drew Ali. All righty, y'all. Thank you all so much. Rest and recharge well. And we will see you guys in about 12 and a half, 13 hours for Intuition Monday, where we're going in on Keanu Reeves' natal chart. And you guys can kind of see how we can do some analysis of some things and look at some things. All right. Last time, I think the last analysis of a being that we did on Intuition Monday was Martin Luther King.
Oh, yeah, we did go on Martin Luther King.
That was the last one.
Was Michael Martin Luther King.
Michael King.
Michael King.
Right? Yeah,
that was the last one. And I think the one before that was either Stephen King or Halle Berry.
Stephen King, yeah. And then like Pharrell before that one, I think. Halle Berry maybe before that one. Or no, before Pharrell it was, or after Pharrell. I think it was Nick Cannon went in on it.
Oh, yeah, we did do him too, yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to want to miss it. You can actually see what it is that can be done when we're analyzing someone's chart and looking at some things and really going in on some things, honestly. Because if we're not mistaken, now I remember. That's right. Keanu Reeves is like from like Kuwait, right? That's where he manifested, like Beirut.
Yeah, because we was looking at the Mercury part. Yeah, we was looking at the exalted Mercuries in Virgo. Yeah.
Yes,
Beirut.
And it was Kazemi too, wasn't it? Was it Kazemi?
I think like
something?
1 or 2 minutes off exact. Kazemi, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming back vaguely, but I am remembering that now. Okay, yeah, that's going to be fun. Observing.
It was like, bro, do you see this?
Yeah, it was really like, no wonder Keanu Reeves is who he is, if this is really his actual chart. Other than that, guys, it's cool. And then, I'm finishing up that book by Nicola, and it's like, our software has Bill Gates at 9:10 p.m. and Nicola was like 9:02:11. And when you see it, it's like, what made him really do that? Because that rectification is like, Jesus Christ. Because Bill Gates is a Scorpio with a Cancer ascendant. It's like, 4 degrees Scorpio, chief. Like, okay, it's making sense with the Uranus at 2 degrees Leo conjunct the 2 degree second house cusp in Leo. It's like, okay. Anyway, with that being said, guys, rest and recharge well. It's where I am, Brother Sean, say namaste to y'all. Namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace.